Yes, guys. Hi, hello, and welcome back to the current affairs class, CUET UG Shaheen Group of Institution. I'm your Abhilash, dealing with current affairs as well as some other subjects also. Yes, in my previous class, we have discussed with the Sagarmala project. What is the importance of Sagarmala? Why India is more interested in developing its seaports as well as it is also interested in Chahabahar port which is in Iran. So we have gone through all the facts and all the present importance with related to Chahabahar port of the Iran. Yes, the trade relation, the trade route, and our import and export should be increased. That is the motive behind of Sagarmala project. And before Sagarmala project, we also have discussed with the Chahabahar port. Yes, in my previous class, Chahabahar port was the main topic, and after that I have also discussed about Sagarmala project. So now today's topic is something which is very much closely related with Chahabahar as well as Sagarmala project. Yes, if we are studying a topic in a proper way, then we should study it very clearly. We should end that topic with a proper conclusion. So I have decided to study the Chahabahar port, which is in news, along with Chahabahar, which is quite related with the Chahabahar, Sagarmala, which is also is in news. Sagarmala project. The one more topic which is closely related with the two, that is string of pearls. Yes, welcome back to the best and very interesting topic of the day, that is nothing but your string of pearls. What is string? What is pearls? What is string of pearls? And with respect to current affairs, why string of pearls is very important, and what is the role of India in string of pearls. Yes, when it comes to the string of pearls is nothing but it is a pure topic of the China. China is dominating entire world through its geopolitics, through its diplomatic way, and it is also trying to gain a dominance in the Indian Ocean as well. Yes, when it comes to Indian Ocean, so all these maps can be remembered, all these map can be seen very crystal clearly, and you can also look at the China's dominance in the Indian Ocean, especially when it comes to Arabian Sea, when it comes to Bay of Bengal, and also when it comes to South China Sea. Yes, so the dominance of China in the Indian Ocean, the dominance of China in the Arabian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, and this is your South China Sea. To be precise, the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean. So China always wanted to tackle its enemy nations, for example, India, and for example, US, for example, the Russia. It always wants to dominate in all the perspective. So I just gave you a hint what exactly the string of pearls is. Yes, let me explain what actually the string, what actually the pearls, and why it is called as a string of pearls. No doubt, when the China wants to have a counter attack on India, when India is getting developed, India is one of the fastest economy in the world, the fastest growing nation in the world. So obviously, being the enemy nation, being one of the rival of India's economy, China always wants to tackle, wants to stop the India's growth. So China has become a hurdle in all the sense. Whenever it comes to India's growth and development, China always acts as a mediator, acts as a barrier. That is what the China's so many strategies are there. The one strategies among them is your string of pearls. Yes, you can look at the diagram here. You can look at the map. The red line which is shown is one of its oldest route, oldest route. The historically China used to supply its silk and some of the horses to the European countries, the countries surrounded with the Mediterranean Sea, the countries which are surrounding areas of your Mediterranean Sea, and also all the European countries and Arabian countries as well. So selling the silk, because China was known for its silk trade. So that is what China always want to have a connection with the Europe. But it needs a route, the land route. The oldest route, the present day, is called as Silk Route of China. So China once again wants to renovate, once again want to start that route to have a connectivity with its older countries, its older trade routes. The countries which are coming in its contact, which are coming on its way. It wants to have a trade relation with all the countries. That older road is called as the Silk Route, which is in red line, the Silk Route economic belt. Then what about this blue? The blue line is its maritime, it's a sea route. Sea route, the country which are in the sea, in the ocean, the China wants to have a trade relation with those countries which are on the ocean or which are not connected with the China through the land. The land border is not continuous. To those countries, China is creating its sea route. That sea route, it seems like pearls everywhere. The pearl is the pearl which is available on the ocean. Yes, the pearls. So string of pearls means it is a garland of pearls. The necklace of pearls, it looks like a, see, here it is a necklace, here it is a pearl, here it is also a pearl, here and here. You can observe all these looks as a pearl. So China's strategy against India is to tackle India, is to stop India's economic activities, to stop India's all the maritime trade routes, to stop all the India's business route lines. So China always wants to show interest against India's will. Yes, China wants to have a domination in the Indian Ocean by making India's neighbor countries as its friend. See, India's neighbor countries are all the neighbor countries are now good friend with the China. Take it for example, we have a Bangladesh here, we have a Nepal, except Bhutan, all the neighboring countries of India are having a good relation with China. And the China has taken a responsibility to develop all the seaports, all the maritime sea routes, and the safety and security of that particular country. For example, the Colombo, a Hambantota. The Hambantota is a port of Sri Lanka. The complete funding, finance, security, everything is the responsibility, everything is taken by the China. The China is developing the topmost, the highly developed ports in Sri Lanka. Why China should show interest in Sri Lanka? Because when China can develop the port here, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in the future, China can have a control on this area, so as it also can have a control on the Indian main territory also. Yes, China can tackle India's presence, so it can stop, it can disturb. Yes, so that is the main reason. And thereafter, here again, once again, the Africa's dominance, African dominance. Definitely it is needed, because Africa is considered as one of the richest continent in the world when it comes to the minerals, ores, gold, silver, diamond and all. So Africa is the richest continent in the world, but the irony of the Africa is that its own countries are not experiencing the luxury. The own African people are not experiencing the luxury. All other different nations are looting this continent like anything. The one is China among them. China is also one. Same, your Nairobi, your Djibouti, and thereafter through the Red Sea. This is Gulf of Aden, this is Red Sea. Through the Red Sea, we are entering into the Mediterranean. Here it is your Mediterranean Sea, and through the Mediterranean Sea, we are having the connection with the European countries as well. So this is the strategy of string of pearls. See, this is looking like a, see, when China can do all the connectivity, China can have a contact with all these countries, this line is looking like a string. It is looking like a thread. The thread which is the thread of pearls. The thread which is connected with the pearls. The pearls are nothing but the ports, the developments, whether it is a seaport or river or whatever the ports are. Yes, those ports are called as your strings. So China has given a tough competition to the India, the Russia and the USA for that matter. It is not only India. For in our perspective, when we are preparing for the competitive exams, we think that China is standing against the India, not only India. China's biggest enemies are Russia and USA also. So for that matter, China is giving a tough competition to tackle all the three major enemy nations. Yes. So coming to the main picture, let me explain this in very crystal clearly with a very colorful picture. China has always been a very prominent, very dominant in silk when it comes to the trade and export. So China's silk are worldwide very famous. The China silk has a much demand, even in earlier days and now also. In those days, China used to sell its silk. But through what? Through the land route. Through the land route. That land route is called as one belt. Yes, the oldest belt. The route is called as one belt. From here, Guangzhou. So here we have a place called as Guangzhou. It is not mentioned here, but from the Guangzhou, the China starts its journey. We have a route. We have a land route, not the sea route. We have the land route from the Guangzhou, from Guangzhou to the Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and from here to we have a this is your Mediterranean Sea. Through the Mediterranean Sea, we are having a connection with the Russian capital. From there, we have a connection with the European country. Then we are coming to the Italy, Greece, and from here. So this is your end of your land route. This is the end of the oldest silk route. From thereafter, for few days or for few years, there is land route when all the countries got independent, when all the countries have their own dominance, they have got own government, and entire world has become republic and democratic countries and all together. So every countries were emerged as the new nation, new country, and the new world has begun, especially after World War II. All the countries has made its own boundaries, they have its own administration, they have their own government, republic, democracy, everything has been created. So from thereafter, all the countries, they have stopped, especially the China has stopped having a connection to the countries. The Silk Route trade was stopped because of land border disputes and inter-countries dispute or interstate disputes. All these things comes into the picture. For that purpose, China stopped the land route to the European countries. But the present situation, China once again wants to renovate. China once again wants to start the oldest sea route. Definitely, because China has thought China should start the sea route and as well as the land route, because the China wants to be a king in the field of export, in the field of market and business, globalization. So China wants to develop one of the biggest country in the world. It can become a biggest country only if it can have a proper relationship, geopolitics, a proper international relationship with the other countries. So that is the reason we already have a land route. So we will renovate it, we will start it, we will execute it. We will start working on it. We will have a trade relationship. Then what about the countries which are untouched at that point of time? At that point of time, we have some the countries which are in the oceans. For example, Sri Lanka. For example, the Jakarta, Indonesia. For example, the Bangladesh, Malaysia. We have Philippines here. So all these countries were untouched by the China in the earlier days. Now, China definitely wants to have a connectivity, the trade relation with all these countries. So also as to, this can also be a strategy to stop the India's presence in the world, to tackle the India's presence in the trade relationship. Yes. So that is why we call it as a one belt and one road. See, this is one belt. The entire countries, entire countries which are coming in contact with this road considered as one belt. All countries are similar. We all are one. We are all are having the same trade route. We all have same prices, same tax policies, same demands, and everything will be same. So one belt and one road. This one road will supply the similar kind of products, the similar kind. We will use this road as for our same trade purpose. Every country, irrespective of any continent, irrespective of any kind of policy they have, we will use this route as our only one road for our entire businesses. That is why it is called as one belt, one road. OBOR, OBOR, right? So this is your sea route, maritime route. This is also for the selling of their silk and for selling of their traditional things, right? See, this is an image where you can imagine how the roads in the Himalayas, the older sea routes, how the routes were look like. In olden days, the sea route, the land route, the land silk route looks like this. It is somewhere in the in our eastern part of India, northeastern part of India, Assam, Manipur, Tripura. So in those states, till date we can see the routes, and these routes are now being used for the domestic purpose. Yes, the route which has been created by the China in earlier days, now also it is present, and now this route is used for the day-to-day life, day-to-day domestic purpose. Okay, so we also have some other images. See, this is also one of the sea routes. See here, the vehicle is moving on. So these are your sea routes, silk routes, sorry. I'm pronouncing it as a sea route. Please, I'm sorry. So it is called as a silk route. So this is the route, and we also have one more image. See, look at this. This is your silk route. Through this route, the China used to have connectivity through the entire nations, whichever coming on its way. Right? So these are the example, and see, this is the oldest picture of the China's route and China's plan. See here it is. Here we have a China, as I told you, Guangzhou. In that earlier map, the Guangzhou was not mentioned, but the Silk Route starts from the Guangzhou. Guangzhou is the first basic place from where the Silk Route starts. From Guangzhou to the entire European countries through this route, right? See, this is the route, this black mark. See this is the black mark through which, yes, the Guangzhou to the black mark. This is your Silk Route, land route, and the thing which are looking in a dot fashion. Okay, these are the older day maritime route, sea route. Okay, so see why. I'll come to this later. First, enjoy this picture. Before this, first enjoy this one. Yes, here it is. So here it is in Colombo, in Kolkata, Indonesia, Jakarta, and Nairobi. Here we have the recent port. We have one more here. It is called as Djibouti. And in Pakistan, we have Gwadar port created by China. So China's presence in Gwadar, Pakistan, China's presence in Djibouti, China's presence in Nairobi, Kenya, China's presence in Colombo, China's presence in Dhaka, Bangladesh, China's presence in Jakarta, China's presence in Malaysia also. Yes, except Bhutan, all the countries have been captured by China. Right? So this here the image is very much clear. Here the image is very much clear. So China is, see, this is the ship, the transportation, the trade. So China wants to sell its products through the Indian Ocean, but it wants to make India as just a spectator. India can only be a spectator. India doesn't have any role in becoming a world power. When China can dominate the Indian Ocean completely, then India can be silent. For example, if China is selling the cheaper products to the Sri Lanka, China can promise Sri Lanka to develop their roads, ports, railways, everything. Then definitely Sri Lanka will not be in a favor with India. So will not take any products which is produced in India. So India cannot sell its products to Sri Lanka. That is why India lost Sri Lanka. In future, India will lose the Sri Lanka. In case, if China is selling its cheapest product to the Kenya, Djibouti, as I told you, Djibouti here. So if the China is selling its products to these African countries in a very cheapest way, then India will also lose these countries for its trade related purpose. When India can sell its products to the European countries and here Arabian countries, then India will lose all the European countries along with your Arabian countries. So entire world will be dominated by China. This is what the outcome which is coming out of this topic. One belt, one road, and a string of pearls. All these are looking like, it looks like a pearls. These are all looking like a pearls. So this is a string which is weird on the necklace, on the neck of your China or India. China is wearing a necklace of pearls, as you also can say necklace of diamonds, right? These are all look like a diamonds or the pearls. Then it looks like a pearls in the world's perspective, right? So here for the exams point of view, whatever thing we must remember should be with respect to the CUET exam purpose, right? So the main questions can be asked from this area is, what is OBOR, one belt, one road? And what is the importance of OBR now? Because China wants to redevelop, restart, renovate that older Silk Route. Yes, then again there can be a question on the China's Silk Route will connect to from China to Europe. Yes, the OBOR, it connects the European countries to the sea route or the land route. Yes, only through the land route. It is OBOR. Then what is string of pearls? String of pearls means both the road connectivity as well as sea route, both combined together. See, this is road, this is sea. This both the routes combined together is called as string of pearls. All these are looking like a pearls. Yes, doesn't it look like a string? And these are look like a pearls. That is what this theory is called as the strategy, the philosophy behind tackling its enemy countries, enemy nations. That strategy is called as string of pearls. Then what is the importance of India here? Yes, we should always study whatever the thing with respect to India. In the perspective of India, we should study every topic. Because in exam, whatever the thing is going on in the world, we always must study it with respect to India. how it is importance to India, what is the advantage to India, what is disadvantage to India, what is the role of India here, how it is related to Indians government or whatever it is. So always you must read any kind of topic with respect to India's point of view. Yes, so now it's time to bring India's role here. As I as I have as I have taught you Chabahar Port in my previous class, I taught you Chabahar Port. Chabahar's location gives India's access besides Iran, Afghanistan and India. As I told you, whenever India wants to have a trade relation with Afghanistan, so we don't have a proper route. We should either choose Pakistan's route or we should choose the other routes or through the China. So we cannot go to Afghanistan through the route of China because either it is geologically very difficult, Himalayas and all, and the other thing is China is our enemy nation. This same is with Pakistan. Pakistan is also our enemy nation. So then how can we have a trade relation with Afghanistan? It is only through the one route, that is through the Iran. Through the Iran. As I have discussed about this in my previous class, let me show it in the picture. Yes, as I told you, this is Gujarat, this is Pakistan, this is Afghanistan. So we cannot have a trade relation from India to Afghanistan. We cannot have a easy access. So that is why we here are coming to the Iran. This is Iran. Iran's Chabahar port is here. So through the Iran, we are having a connection with the Afghanistan. So whatever import and export to the Iran or to the Afghanistan, we are doing only through the Chabahar port. So Chabahar port is playing important role here because Chabahar's ports is filled with three countries agreement. That is why when three countries are being together, it becomes more powerful. Three is more powerful than the two. When China and Pakistan can create a port here, Gwadar, this is Gwadar, China and Pakistan both being together, partner, they both are become, they are developing this port together. Here we have three countries, so three is greater than the two. That is why Chabahar is more powerful than the Gwadar. So the Chabahar is playing very important role to tackle the China's presence here. Chabahar is one of the center where we can observe the China's presence in the Indian Ocean. We can observe the China's presence here in the Indian Ocean, entire Indian Ocean. So Chabahar is becoming one of the hurdle to the China. Yes. Then, as I have told you, Sagarmala project is a counter. It is a counter project to the China's presence in the Indian Ocean. Sagarmala is becoming one of the reply, one of the counter attack to the China's string of pearls. Yes, so here we are winding up the class. Before that, I have one more thing to discuss. What is the role of India, whether India should join the One Belt, One Road, and what is the advantage and disadvantage of India if it is joining hands with the China. For example, if anything which is in favor with India, then India should join. So that is what I have clearly mentioned here, the advantages of joining One Belt, One Road. What if India is joining hands with the China? Yes, I am also happy. I can also take advantage of this route. So please do it. I don't have any objection. If India says it, then in what perspective it is saying? So let me explain it very crystal clearly. So India, advantages to India when it comes to joining OBR, why it is advantage? Because China being the one of the strongest, one of the most fastest developing nation, no doubt in that. China's technology is far more developed. Yes, the China is one of the leading country in the world. So being the largest democracy in the world, so we always need to think of our country's development rather than developing the enmity. Whatever the rivalry, whatever the enemy, whatever the thing which is going wrong between the two countries, we always need to think in a positive way. Why can't we make a friendship? Why can't we have a good relationship with the China? Why can't China become a good friend to us? Even if we are failing to join the hands, probably China wants to have a good relationship with India, but India is not okay with that. Probably that may be chance. So India should always think in a positive way. India should always join hands with China when it comes to overall development of this entire nation or to the entire world for that matter. So here joining hands with the China definitely will help India's infrastructure. It will definitely help India's trade routes. India can also sell some of its products through that route. India can sit together with the China. It can also sort the other matters. For example, border dispute at the Arunachal Pradesh. For example, border dispute at the Himalayas, the Siachen and all. So all those things can be sorted out if we can have a good relationship with India. Why can't this OBOR be a reason for it? Why can't that one belt, one road can work in a positive favor? So we also must think in that way. So always maintaining the good relationship with our neighboring countries works in our favor. Yes, that is what India will not be able to stop China from carrying on this initiative, nor it can stop its neighbors from joining this initiative. No doubt, as I told you, China is one of the powerful country. It cannot stop the China's presence. China will keep on doing this work, and its friendly countries will definitely join it. We can't stop it. Then, so whether India joins the initiative or not, the project will take place, and not joining may harm India's interests. So everybody will join that project except India. Everybody will get the advantage. Only India, which is not joining, India will remain silent, and India may in future may feel bad, may regret for not joining it. So joining into into this project will definitely help India's overall development when it comes to trade relationship with the European countries. So joining hand with China can be best option, as long as I have studied about the geopolitics relationship, right? So when it comes to, yes, we also have the other disadvantage of joining OBR. What if India joins hand into it? So India is surrounded by its enemy nations. For example, Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, and recently one more enemy we have got, that is Maldives, and some other countries. So India is surrounded by its enemy countries, and these our enemy countries are the good friends of China. So when enemies are supporting the China, then that group is called as enemy group. So if we are joining hands with the enemy group, who knows, all those enemies being together can harm the India's interest. So India, if joins in that country, there may be a chance of India's decline. Ignoring the India can be the main motive, and neglecting the India's trade, because all the enemy nation being together, India is also part of the project. So there may be a chance of India being neglected. India may feel that I am being neglected, I don't have any role, all my enemy nations are being given a respective positions, but I am not. So there can be a chance of India's trade relation can be neglected, it can be avoided. So all these things can be done, right? So here, that is what I have mentioned. China is developing ports in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. All these countries are considered as a good friend of China. And thus MSR is nothing but your maritime silk route. So maritime silk route is nothing but an economic disguise, the strings of pearls. The theory, China is investing a huge amount of money in the India's immediate neighbors, and these countries tend to use the China card against India. All these enemy nations, when they are joining hands with the China, they can become powerful, and the powerful countries, day after tomorrow, they can harm on India. They can kill India's trade relationship in return. So this is the story of the day. This is the topic of the day. As I have told you, this is your clear picture where the yellow line is one belt, one road. This will, the red line is called as maritime road, economic belt and maritime road. So when it comes to India and China, we always remain as an enemy and sometimes we act like we are friends. But remember one thing, China is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, and China can never be a good friend to India because we have seen the history, we have seen the present time, we will see in future also. China can never be a good friend to India as we have maintained a good relationship with Russia and USA at present, right? So we will meet in my next class with a topic like this, very interesting topic, and in my next class also I'll definitely bring the topic which is in news, which is very hot, which is going on in the society. So definitely stay tuned in my class, and please watch all these videos from the beginning till the end and keep support the current affairs class. Okay, till then, goodbye.